If you are stuck making under 6 figures a year as a real estate agent, then you're going to want to listen to today's video until the very end, because I think that what we're talking about today is one of, if not the number one reasons why you might be stuck below that mark in your business. I know there's a lot of videos this time of year talking about this topic. However, this is something that I do for my business, not just in January. I do this all year round on a consistent basis. We're going to talk about goal setting for your real estate business, what I do in my real estate business, how I've always set my goals and what's worked for me, which in my mind, goal setting kind of also goes along with like creating your schedule as a real estate agent. So honestly, no matter what time of year it is that you're watching this at, if you probably can't hear the rain, but it is like pouring down rain right now. It is January, the time of filming this. But no matter what time of year it is that you are watching this, and no matter where you're at in your business, I think that you will get value from today's video. A little bit of background if you're new here. Welcome. My name is Mariah. I'm a real estate agent in the beautiful state of Oregon. I got my real estate license at 18, right out of high school. My husband and I got married really young, and my goal was always, from like the time I started my real estate business, was always to be able to make enough money and do well, or just like have my business be successful enough, my real estate business, for my husband to be able to quit his job and join me, because it just felt like that would be a much better life than other options, and it definitely is and has been. And over the years, I have sat through so many different trainings, like real estate trainings. I hope the camera's not tilted. If it is, I'm sorry guys. I've sat through so many different real estate trainings over the years about goal setting and all of that, and this is something that I always, like I said, I do this year round. It's not just like New Year's setting goals for your business. I am constantly, not even just every quarter, I'm constantly auditing, editing, and just like being aware of, I guess you could say, the goals that I have for my real estate business. So I just wanted to share with you what works for me. It's a very simplified version, because I know a lot of these trainings that I've sat through, they've been like hour-plus long trainings on this topic, and they go have all these like details and spreadsheets and numbers, and like this is just a very simplified version, something that absolutely anyone can do. So get your pen, get your paper, get your beverage of choice. Today I have a decaf, sugar-free vanilla almond milk latte, and let's get right into it. So first thing to understand before we get into this actual like goal setting little chit chat we're gonna have in my car, is that the average agent does not make it in real estate. And basically there's a statistic out there that says like 90 something, or maybe it's like 87%, some really crazy high percentage of everyone that gets their real estate license will not make it 5 years in the business. And I think a really big reason for this is because so many people get their real estate license after coming from a career where maybe they're used to being told what to do or whatever, and they don't understand that this is a business. They think they're getting a job in real estate, a career in real estate, but that's not the case. When you become a real estate agent, you are automatically an independent contractor, meaning that you automatically are a business owner. You now run your own business, and I think that it's just mind-blowing to me how many agents I talk to that don't have a business plan. And so that's another way that you could think of these goals that we're going to be talking, like this whole conversation, I guess you could say today. It's goals, it's your schedule, because if your goals aren't on your schedule, they're just kind of like something you hope for. It's business planning, because another word for your goals in my mind is basically just like a business plan in a way. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing that I do when I'm going to sit down and write some goals for my real estate business / business plan / schedule even, is I will think very long term and think ideally. I took some notes for you guys, by the way. I wrote this out, so if I'm reading, that's why. But I will think, ideally, what does my day or business look like, and if I could have it any way that I want. Get super specific. I know exactly what that is like for me. It's working with the specific types of clients that I want to work with. I work with relocation buyer clients that are moving here from out of state for my YouTube channel. I work with agent-to-agent referrals. By the way, if you have a client relocating to Oregon or just needing a realtor in Oregon, we'd love to help you. Feel free to send me any referrals. I'd love to give you a referral fee. Agent-to-agent referrals, my husband specializes in listings. We have been very clear and specific on what we want. I've also been focused on raising my average price point so I can sell less houses and make more money, and basically just anything in my business that allows me to make more overtime while working less is really always been a big part of my focus for my business. Because we have been over the last however many years we've been in the real estate industry now. I got my license in 2015. Because we've been so specific about the kind of life and day that we want to have. And for me, that includes being an active producing real estate agent while also being able to go on a play date with my daughter at 11 a.m. on a random Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like, that is part of the very clear specificness of what I wanted and what I saw in my day, because we have been so clear and specific on that over the years. That is exactly what we've gotten. Okay, so that was step number one, was to just write out what ideally would you like your day to look like? What ideally would you like your business to look like? And there's no like rules here. Use your imagination. It could be however or whatever you want. So now that we have the long term, what we want our business to look like and who we want to work with out of the way, we can get into the actual goal setting phase. I will give you an example now. So now is where you can write out, and again, this is just what I do. Guys, this is just what's worked for me over the years in my business. Maybe you have a goal of closing one home a month from a YouTube channel with a relocation buyer. So maybe your goal is to have 12 relocation buyer clients that you work with that year at or around the price point of $700,000. Maybe it's $500,000. I don't know what your market's like, guys, but that could be one goal that you have for your business. Underneath that goal on your notebook, you will write some specific action steps to help you get there. Think to yourself, what things can I begin doing today or put on my schedule today consistently to move the needle and make this thing happen? So if that's your goal, to work with 12 relocation buyer clients from YouTube at or around the, say, $600,000 price point, then what you're gonna do is underneath that goal, you're gonna write some action steps that you can start taking right away, things that you can put into your calendar right now, this month, to chip away and work towards that goal. For example, some action steps for that goal could be start doing research on and putting in the notes in your phone some neighborhoods that are, in your area that you can do driving neighborhood tours through that are in that $700,000 price point. Whatever type of houses you're showing on your YouTube channel or your Instagram or Facebook, whatever it is, like that's kind of the price point that you're going to be attracting. Another action step for that particular goal could be figuring out how to use iMovie. Put time on your schedule to figure it out so that you can edit your videos. Go to Best Buy and buy a camera, or do what I do. Use your iPhone. I'm using my iPhone right now. I have 2 professional cameras, and over the last year I've chosen to only use my iPhone, and it's worked great for me. I've still gotten business just the same as when I used a professional camera. Another action step for this goal could be put time on your schedule to write video scripts, and then separately time to batch film that month's like videos for content that you're going to use to get business. So that's just one example, but basically that is the way that I set goals. Is I have the goal for my business, and this could go so many directions. Like that is just one example. I can't tell you what your goals are. Maybe you love open houses and your goal is to host an open house every week for the next 3 months, and then under that you would have an action step to line up the houses that you're going to do open houses at and reach out to the agents if they're not your listings, to put on your schedule to door knock around the open house the day before. Like, there's a zillion ways to get business in this business, and they all work, but this is just an example. To sum it up, put the goal, like write it out, and then underneath the goal, the action steps of like all the things that you can think of what you can actually do now to make that goal happen. So now I'm just going to run through a couple key things that have helped me for my business when it comes to goal setting. Get really specific. I think the more specific, the better. That's why I said not just like, oh, get more YouTube buyer clients than I had last year. I said a specific number. We said 12, and then we said a specific price point. Another thing that I do as far as goal setting goes for my business is I keep them in front of me where I can see them on a consistent basis. For me, that means I have my goals written out. I have them in the form of photos, so I can see like photos of my goals, kind of, if that makes sense. I also have them written out on a piece of paper, like with big letters where I can easily read. And I keep this in my bathroom. This is where I get ready every day. This is where I get up and go pee in the middle of the night. So I am like constantly going to be looking at these goals. And I think that's just really, really important, because I feel like our life kind of generally moves in the direction of the things that we keep in front of our mind. And that's just the way it is. So keep your goals in front of you. Be constantly reminding yourself of what your goals are. You can't just like write them down and then put them in a notebook and put it away in the cupboard and like never look at them. As far as goal setting goes for your business, another thing that I always think is really important to do when goal setting, but also just like creating your schedule for your business, for your life. Something that I do is I really focus on the important things, not just the urgent things. And if you don't do this and you're a real estate agent, then the urgent things are going to take over your life. Okay, I was just on a mastermind call with some other real estate moms this morning, which was super awesome. And one of the things that was talked about on this mastermind call was having your morning routine and having your phone, like while you're having your morning routine, having your phone on airplane mode. My mom and my sister have been annoyed at me for this in the past when they've been trying to get a hold of me. But guys, this is really important. This is just one example of prioritizing the important things, the important non-urgent things, not just the urgent things. So basically what they were saying in this mastermind, and this is something like I said, I already do this, is I have my phone on airplane mode while I'm doing my morning routine, whatever that looks like that day. Whether for me, that's usually like reading my Bible, doing some sort of like a quick 20-minute or so like Pilates or bar workout. Those are things that I do in the morning, and I don't like to have distractions. So because those are things that are important to me, but they're not urgent. They're not like, you know, something that needs to be done urgently. However, I prioritize them, and a way to do that is to turn your phone off. That could look like when you do your calls, when you're doing your morning cold calling. I know when I used to do the hour of power back when I would do a lot of cold calling for my business, that's how I started my business and got business when I was a brand new agent, was cold calling. And I would do what I called the hour of power, stolen from Tom Ferry, and probably other people say it. But during the hour of power, I would sit down, lock myself in a room, make my cold calls, and nobody else could reach me. Like I don't care what kind of emergency was happening, they couldn't reach me because I was making my cold calls and I was not going to be distracted, and I was making time for something that was important, that was non-urgent but important. Another example of this is I literally put reading time with my daughter, not every single day, but most days. I will put that on my schedule, on my calendar, and where we have like read aloud time together. And you might think that it's like, oh, you just do that because you have all this like extra free time to just like sit there and like read to your daughter. No, that is not an urgent thing by any means, but it is something that's very important to me. So I'm really intentional to put the important but non-urgent things on the schedule, and then like really prioritize them. Turn your phone off during those things, because otherwise the urgent things will just bust on in and ruin the important but non-urgent things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never want to live in that place of urgency where the urgent things are taking over your life and you don't have time for the non-urgent but important things. My last tip for this is to pick 3 ways that you plan to get business for your business. Okay, like 3 ways, I said that kind of weird. 3 ways that you plan to get clients, either marketing or prospecting. And if you're in a position where you're like, I need clients right now, I don't have any other income coming in, I cannot wait, I don't have any pipeline, then you're gonna have to do more prospecting than marketing. I hate to break it to you, prospecting is things like cold calling, door knocking, open houses. There's a bunch of different ways, but like actively going out and getting the leads, where marketing obviously is like making a YouTube video and then waiting for the phone to ring, that kind of thing. So you are gonna have to focus more on prospecting if you are probably brand new, but have three ways that you plan to market or prospect to clients. Both are fine. And I would say only have 3 and write them down. And then write down what you plan to do for each, and then put them on your schedule every single week on a consistent basis, and then you will have a successful real estate career. Like there's literally no way you can fail if you do that. We have had what people say is the worst real estate market in 30 years, worse than 08. Like there's been less as far as like number of houses being sold, how hard it is for agents to get clients. It has been worse than 08, apparently, according to statistics, guys. And I know that there are agents killing it all over the country because I have a network of agents that I get to do business with, collaborate with, chat, help, do Zoom calls with sometimes, send voice text to, and just like be in relationship with, which is so much fun. At my brokerage, Real Broker, by the way, if you're like, what's Real Broker, head over to my channel. I have an entire playlist. By the way, if you are thinking about switching brokerages and you want more information about Real, you want to talk and see if it might be a good fit for you or not, I'd love to hop on a Zoom call with you. I do Zoom calls with agents thinking about switching to Real all the time. But my whole point in saying all this is I see whenever these agents that are with us at our brokerage, that we're with Real Broker, whenever they have closing, I obviously see it. And there are agents in every market, new agents and seasoned agents, like so many different markets, killing it. They were killing it all year last year, which was apparently the worst year to be a real estate agent. So there's no excuses. That's the point I'm trying to make. We can't blame it on the market. People are selling. If someone else is selling, then we can be selling. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. A couple quick little like housekeeping things. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe and hit the bell. Come on here consistently with new videos. You can listen to these videos in the form of a podcast if you prefer that style on Spotify. I will put a link to that below, so click on that link to the Spotify and subscribe over there so you can catch up with us over there as well. I'm going more in depth on this topic of goal setting this month on my monthly agent newsletter, where I just send some encouragement, hopefully what's working in my business, that kind of thing. I send a once a month newsletter to agents. If you want to be part of that newsletter for this month may or may not have already been sent out by the time this video is up, but regardless, I send them once a month. So if you want to be part of that email list, then shoot me an email with the words email list and you'll be added right away. I'll put my email in the description below. If you have any real estate related questions, leave a comment. I'd love to chat with you guys in the comments, and I think that you'd really love the video that's going to be showing right here or right here, and I'll see you guys next time.